drive this thing one-handed on the mud. While recording. Okay, so I know that this trail is like 5 miles long, but I don't know if our batteries are gonna last that long on these little electric motorcycles. But these are the coolest damn things ever. Look at this thing. It's small, but it's pretty cool. Man, it's a pretty big hill here. Oh, wait there. What would you do if I just pushed you over right now?
What would I do?
Yeah. Would you divorce me is what I'm asking?
No, I wouldn't divorce you, but I would hurt you badly.
Lincoln's motorcycle is broken, so the chain keeps breaking. Lincoln keeps screaming, "This is the spot, Dad! This is the spot!" Do it! Do it! My grandfather taught me something very important, Tiffany, when I was a kid, and that is that there are no consequences to our actions. Hey, watch, I'm gonna do a backflip.
Stop it.
There's Mama Bear.
I gotta tell you the truth, Tiffany. Kinda hoping you were gonna wipe out. Thank you for bringing us. Is that what you said? Okay. So burgers and milkshakes is what we just got promised.
Yeah, we're totally doing that again.
So what'd you think?
This is the best day ever.
Okay, what'd you think, Paige?
It was awesome. We should do it again.
We just took the motorcycles home, dropped them off at the house.
Burgers and milkshakes. Burgers and
Now we're going to fine dining because it's only the best for the Thomas family.
I finally found a steak and shake that is open after Corona because
You mean the lobby is open where you can actually go in and sit down and eat?
Yeah, because the one by our house is closed. We used to go there a lot. Like,
We used to go there a lot until like they hired a bunch of meth heads that can never get an order right.
I know, but because it's such a good deal, we would go there anyway. Even though it was like terrible service, the food is good and the milkshakes are good. And it costs us like $30 for the whole family to eat. So I mean, I kind of don't care how bad the service is.
No eating out of trash cans tonight, guys.
They're on crack.
Nobody heard anything.
What is up now that
Okay.
you guys can actually hear us?
will
How are
start
you?
Over. Now can you hear us? Can you hear us? Can you hear us?
Yes.
Are,
What is up,
are we
Kathy?
there?
What is up, Placid Saint?
No
Joe?
sound, you dummies.
There's
Wow.
sound.
You know what? Am I
Who is
allowed,
that?
Am I allowed to give the finger?
Of course. Who is that? Where did that say that?
They're just joking, but listen.
Check. Okay.
I've had one of those days.
Me too.
We've both had one of those days, and just bear with us for a minute while we have a pity party. we're tired, we're grinding, we're working, we're like, you know, I didn't even tell you. Like, I had a massively rude student today.
Oh, really? So tell me, what was the person rude about?
Like, I didn't want to tell you because
they were so much of a jerk?
Because I knew you would be like, give me their number. What's their number?
Okay, hold on. So this is awesome. So tell everybody, like, what was the person being rude about? And, like, how were they being rude? What was happening?
So they called and I said, you know, hey, I can't answer the phone right now. What can I help you with? Because I was in the doctor's office.
Dealing with Paisley's lip. She's got a problem with her lip right now.
With Paisley's lip. And here's the thing. I didn't want to, you know, scare Paisley or worry her or worry Dad. So I didn't say anything, but she's had this bump inside of her lip. And it's been growing, and I brought her to the pediatrician. He's like, oh, it'll go away on its own, and, you know, sometimes it takes a couple months. Well, it's been a couple months. It hasn't gone away. It's gotten bigger. You know, so here's me. I go on Google, and, of course, Google tells you, like, all the worst stuff. But I was worried about the C word. So I'm already, like, I'm sitting there, and I'm, like, you know, trying to make a smiley face for Paisley and stuff, but I'm stressed. Okay? I didn't want to let anybody know, but I was stressed. And then this person texts me, and they're like, what's the address of the police to send in extra documents? And I'm like, huh?
Like, who are you? What are you?
Yeah, like,
what are you asking us?
Like, I have no idea, right? So I'm like, excuse me, can you elaborate? And they're like, something else, and it's like very non-cohesive, right?
Yeah.
So I said,
because I love those messages. We do get those from students, and it's like, you're either severely mentally ill, you have no clue how to, like, articulate something in writing,
appreciate that,
or, like, you are heavily intoxicated.
So here's the thing, you know, I'm like, okay, so I said, you know, tell me what step you're at and what your, you know, your problem is. So I'm thinking, okay, they got a letter in the mail, and they said they need to send additional documents. So, okay, they applied for their permit. They got a letter in the mail saying, hey, you have to send in these additional documents. So I said, follow the address that's on the letter. Listen to everything on the letter, right? Because this is not us you're dealing with. This is the state of Florida.
This is the government.
They're going to
Don't be mad at us.
They're going to tell you, send A, B, and C to this address, and you have 30 days. So I said that, and he said, nobody wants to help. Thanks for being no help at all. And I'm like, I said, I'm typing right now. I'm helping you.
Like, we're helping you.
Like, it's literally been 5 seconds since you actually texted me. So I'm like, this is
but
not
see what's
hours
funny?
Later. Just wait. So then I said, I'm not sure why you're being rude. Who, me? Question mark, question mark, question mark. And I'm like, I'm not being rude. Like, I said, I'm trying to help you. And they're like, just, I don't know what it was, something else. And I said, just tell me, did you submit your application to the state? And then they didn't respond back. And I'm thinking, you know what? So just before you butt in, this is what I have to say to you, okay? I've been having a terrible kind of week. Ryan's been there too, you know. We're just like, just sometimes, you know, that stuff just happens. So we haven't been jiving, like our relationship hasn't been jiving. Because usually when you're stressed and you have anxiety, you kind of take it out on each other, right?
Yeah, a little bit.
So here's the thing. Be kind. Like, it costs you zero to be a nice person. It's just, like, I get so frustrated
here's what's funny about this whole situation, right? This person, we don't even know if they're one of our students or not.
No, it is a student.
Okay, so
from last year.
This person
That's what they say.
is frustrated because they need the address of where to mail the additional documents.
Yeah.
Which the address is in the letter they received from the state of Florida. So if you just took a little bit of time to read the document the state of Florida sent you,
but that's what I
you would have
to say.
everything you needed.
And the thing is that people think that we have like some sort of in with the Department of Agriculture. I can't call on behalf of you. I can't find out any information on behalf of you. I can't do anything unless you have the dog is outside, unless you have the person's birth date and their information, right? So I'm just trying to give them the proper information. But yes, Bruce, haha. So, you know,
yeah, so Will, let me tell you, like, we have people that are on the live chat that are saying so much crazy, rude stuff to Tiff. And she's like crying. People don't know this, right? She's on the other end crying.
Okay, I'm
hold on.
Super sensitive.
And like, she is super sensitive. And I'm like, give me the phone.
Yeah.
Okay? Like, I got a response to this person. They will never buy anything from us again. Yeah. Which we don't want you anyway. You have to understand that. We have lots of students. We don't need everybody.
Yeah.
We want the people that are fun to work with. We don't want you if you're a psychopath, right?
Yeah.
Anyway, she doesn't ever give me the phone because I would shut it down and like I would shut it down in epic proportion, like to the point that we should record it and put it on YouTube. That'd be a 1 million hit video. Because it'd be awesome.
So, just everyday business. Plus, the kids are going back to school. So, you've got, physicals and you got doctors and you got orientations and you got school supplies and you got haircuts and you got all this stuff going on. And, we're running a business. And, like, what I found was super funny today. Like, Ryan's like, oh, this email, he's trying to write this email for you guys. And, like, the email sucks. I'm like, it's a great email. It's a wonderful email. There's lots of good information. You got a whole bunch of people that wrote back and said, what a great email. Thanks for
Okay, because let me tell you, like, that email that I wrote this morning, which if you guys are not on our email list, I think it's good. I mean, you guys can decide yourself, but I labored and toiled over that email for hours, way longer than it should have ever taken me.
You feel like people, do people even care? Do people even,
sure, of course.
So, hey, everybody gets it. Everybody gets down and out sometimes. Everybody thinks, that they're the only ones that are going through this, or everyone has hard times.
Sure.
And,
yeah, everybody's going through their own stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, see, today's email was excellent. Excellent. Look at that.
Joe has to say that.
No, Joe's a nice guy. And then last week, Ryan says, Tiff, I need you to make an appointment for the dentist. So I said, okay.
This is a good one.
No problem, honey. So I make an appointment, and he can get in the same day. So we're like, perfect. His tooth is hurting, right? This guy, I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's the water that he drank when his mom was pregnant or what. But
maybe it was the vodka that she drank when she was pregnant.
He's how old are you? 39.
38.
38 years old. He had $20,000 worth of medical or dental work.
Yeah, more than that.
When he was when you were in the military. Yeah. Then, a couple of years ago, he had 2 or 3 crowns put in, root canals, so it was $10,000 worth of work. So I'm thinking, this is just going to be a little cavity because your mouth is already 30 G's in. I'm 42 and I've had 3 cavities or something in my lifetime. I've got good
you got horse teeth.
Belgium teeth, they're good. So, long story short, this bugger comes home and it's $15,000.
Easy.
I said, I'm tired. We're taking the teeth out.
We're doing the whole wooden teeth thing. We heard it worked for George Washington. He became president over it.
I told him we're not putting $15,000
future's looking good for me.
To fit a couple teeth. We're going to start saving our pennies, and you're just going to have to do the whole top thing because I'm over it.
Anyway.
We'll be $80 grand in.
Yeah. So we just need to make them gold so that they're impenetrable by all the environmental factors.
Does anybody else have bad teeth? That's what I want to know. It's really not your fault. Because Ryan, actually, this is funny.
I brush my teeth floss way more than you.
More than me over the last 20 years. Yeah. You have been faithful. You brush in the morning and at night, and you floss.
But it still never works, yeah.
Yeah, so does anybody else have bad teeth? Because one of our kids actually has it. They all have
Lincoln
good.
Does,
and then, no, Jackson.
Oh, really?
It's Jackson. The dentist is he's just got bad genes. Yeah. So, anyway, we have a ton of questions tonight. A ton. Okay,
so they said, did you see a story about a smoke shop owner in Vegas that stabbed a thief 7 times? I did not see that. I'm going to go look at that. Have you seen that? I didn't see it. No. I saw a story in the UK paper this morning of a... Go look if he's out there. Okay. Of a guy who caught somebody inside of his house. He then... Oh, no, I'm sorry. He saw on the cameras that a group of men had broken into his house.
Yeah.
So him and his brother-in-law, they grabbed knives and they came home. I don't know where they were. They came home, caught one of the bad guys outside, chased him down the street, stabbed the robber to death, and killed him. And now the guy just yesterday got sentenced to manslaughter or murder or something like that. And that goes to our first topic of tonight, which is the Ahmaud Arbery shooting.
They just posted his dad too. Just got.
Yeah, he got life in prison too. So if you guys remember, Ahmaud, I did a video on Facebook earlier today about this, but Ahmaud was a young dude, right? He was in his 20s, something like that. What?
Well, lots of people got bad teeth too. Ernie is that's not 300,000 in. No, 30,000 in. Yeah. See, nobody wants to spend money on teeth. I'd rather get something fun and exciting.
No, teeth's a big deal, man.
I know, but I'd rather go to Italy. I don't want to spend money on your teeth.
Oh, no, I'm not going to ask that.
What? No, we know what we got to do to your teeth.
Yeah. So anyway, Ahmaud Arbery's young dude, he had walked inside of a house that was like under construction in Georgia. And you know, there's lots of controversy about what he was doing. Like some people say he had a criminal history.
It doesn't
he
matter
might
what
have
he was
just
doing, though, really.
Right. Like we in the subdivision we're in, before we built our house, I broke into one of the houses to I jimmied the door open and squirted in.
Yeah, you didn't break anything, but
yeah, I got in, right? And we walked around the house real quick and we were like, we love this house. And then a year later, we ended up building the same house.
yeah.
So, like, I personally don't think that's that big of a deal, right? We didn't steal anything. We didn't break anything. We're just looking at a house that we might want to buy. Mm-hmm. So, whatever. Allegedly, that's what Ahmaud was doing. And then 3 dudes, right?
Well, the
3
other
dudes
guy
or 4.
came to video.
Okay, they jumped inside of a truck, and this is like
really
true
scary that he also got.
True redneck style. Guys in the back of the truck. They pull up to Ahmaud. A fight ensues. Ahmaud gets shot in the chest. Now, these guys all claimed that they were, like, very justified in their actions. They're trying to stop a burglary, stop a criminal in the act. But I just call this a high-emotion moment. You lost control, you were not thinking clearly, and you made a permanent decision in a temporary situation. You should have just followed Ahmaud from 100 yards behind while on the phone with the police and said, hey, this is what the dude looks like. Come arrest him.
Especially because, you know what, I understand what they were trying to do. The thing is, though, it's not your property. You're losing nothing. It's somebody else's. Let the builder deal with it. Let the, if tools get stolen or whatever, that's what insurance is for. That's not a reason for you to get involved, because this is the thing. It's a high emotion moment and things can turn bad quickly. As it did, you can see what happened. So it's just not worth it. It is not worth it. I feel like this is a really good example of don't get involved. If it's if it's property or something like that, it doesn't matter. If it's a life, totally different.
Sure.
Because you're dealing with just something totally different. But
Yeah.
when it comes to property, that's what insurance is for.
And this is why playing the What Would I Do If game is really so critical for all of us, right? Is we have to think about what are those high emotion moments that are going to really make us upset. Tiffany believes, we have a big bird cage on our patio, and we've got birds in there. Well, this morning, she walks out to have her morning coffee, and the door to the cage, like it's a big cage, it's as tall as me, is wide open.
So I asked Ryan the other day, I'm like, do you ever get nervous, like our back patio? Because I go sit and have my coffee early, and I said, like, I'm always worried, like, someone's going to be back there or whatever. And he's like, no, and I never care about that. I said, I want to get a camera, because I have just felt uneasy about it. And then when I went back
I'm out there naked a lot in the middle of the night getting in that hot tub. So.
But I actually, so I went out late last night, had a glass of wine on the patio. Everything was closed. Bird cage was closed. I go out this morning to have my coffee, and the door is wide open. Like, you have to turn the thing all the way, and then you have to, like, pull it because it kind of gets stuck. Pull it. It was wide open, and it was, like, tucked all the way around. Like, somebody had to do this. This is not wind. This is not an animal. This is not anything. Scared the crap out of me, because I thought, like, somebody must be mad that we have these little 2 finches in there. I mean, they have the greatest home ever with, like, a 6-foot cage, but that freaks me out. I'm buying a camera. You're putting a camera up.
Okay, so that's a potentially high emotion moment, right? You've got some animal activist that potentially is upset that we have birds out there, right?
Yeah.
Which I'm just trying to get enough birds so that I can, if inflation gets too bad, I've got a chicken nugget meal.
Okay, no, the birds can't open the door because they're like they're little finches, so they're like little sparrows. Yeah. This is not like a cockatoo, a big bird, or even a lovebird, like you say, that has the hook bill, because those climb and do stuff. These, like, they really can't do much at all. They're very tiny. Yeah. Thank you, Marcel. Thanks, Marcel. Sweet.
Yeah, so anyway, you see somebody messing with your birds, and you charge out there with a gun in your hand, and you end up making a very terrible decision.
Ooh, raccoons got my birds. Wow.
Sorry
about that. So the birds
Raccoons
were
are smart too, right? Like, they know how to open stuff.
Yeah, but then they would have either eaten the bird, or the birds would have been gone, or they would have took the food or something.
Because they would have gone in the cage.
Yeah, but there's nothing. Like, the birds were still there because they don't want to fly away. They're happy in their home. But,
maybe we need to mount an AR-15 on top of our bird cage.
A trained bird
with
army.
An AI.
So we got little tiny birds. And because Ryan wants this giant parrot, right? And I'm telling him, like, you have no idea how much work
Because
these
if
are.
you guys haven't figured this out by now, everything that I do is like wildly extreme.
Extreme.
Do you agree?
Yes. I'm the same way, though. That's why we make
Tiffany
a good
is an
pair,
extremist.
but also a bad pair.
Like, we are in, and we are in.
Yeah, we make a good pair and a bad pair because of that reason.
Yeah.
I think we like the chaos.
Our pastor, Pastor Carl, was like, Ryan, I think you're addicted to stress.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah. I don't know if anybody's like this. You guys tell me in the comments below. I hate vacations, okay? I hate them. Like,
What the hell's the matter with you?
Dude, I don't know, man.
So you don't want to take me to Ireland and Italy and stuff?
I'll take you to Ireland, but I have to still be working. I have to be doing stuff while I'm there. Like, I can't.
I feel like I should go with somebody else then.
Whatever.
I want to go with somebody who's like, yeah,
even when
let's have fun.
and
let's go walking down the street in Italy and find a great latte, and then let's go out at night and have a lovely glass of wine and hear the little Italian music playing and eat some pasta, even though I'm on a diet now.
Yeah, I'm not like that. We're in Mexico.
You're not like that at all?
I'm sitting in the room and I'm freaking typing on my computer. Tiff's chilling, relaxing on the bed or whatever.
We have Fishman. Yeah. Fishman's on here. He gave us $5. Thank you, Fishman. We appreciate you. And he's got a question. So why don't we stop talking and get into the questions here? Because we're like rambling.
If someone steals a gun, can you shoot them in the back while they're running away? It's a felony crime. So a forcible felony is when we're allowed to use or threaten the use of deadly force. If somebody is stealing a gun, I think in my mind, they've already stole it, right? Let's change the scenario. Let's say you have a handgun inside of the glove box of your car. You catch a bad guy, broke into your car at 2 a.m, grab the gun.
Joe, block that person.
Deal with this person super fast. So, hide user. So I hid them. Now you gotta block all of them. Okay.
He'll do it. Yeah.
Woo!
Thank you,
crazy.
Joe.
Scumbag. All right, so somebody grabs your handgun out of the glove box, and now they're like running down the street with the gun in your hand. The question that I would ask you, Fishman, is your only option to stay alive, to pull out, or to keep another person alive, to pull out your gun and shoot? I would say the answer to that question is probably a no. It's probably a no.
Well, yeah, and you can't shoot someone in the back. They're not a threat.
Well, you can so let's say Eric.
They're stealing your child.
Eric is my buddy, and he lives down the street. Bad guy comes up, stabs me in the chest. Mm-hmm. Now they're running towards Eric, who's in his front yard, and the bad guy still has a knife. Can I shoot that bad guy in the back to protect Eric? I'm going to shoot them, just so you know. I'm going to shoot you in the back because now I perceive you as a threat to my buddy Eric, who's standing next door.
But you got stabbed, so that's different than just taking a piece of property and running.
Correct.
Yeah.
Okay. So I think the answer is no. So I would just be very, very cautious. But again,
this is what I would say to you. It's a gun, so $500, $1,000, right? Probably it's a Glock or an HK or something. Here's the thing: is it worth it? Is it worth it? Shoot someone in the back. You know the state prosecutor is gonna come after you. You know they're gonna have all this stuff. You
Legal
know the
fees,
family,
stress.
Their family is gonna come after you, sue you for some kind of wrongful something. Is it worth it? I would say no, it's not. It's just not. Just you lose the couple $100, and the lesson is, don't leave your gun in the car or wherever it was that got stolen. That's what I would say, because it's always like so much. It's just so much to deal with after the fact that I think this would happen. If you shot them in the back, okay, after everything played out, you would say, damn it, I wish I would have just let them take the gun.
I wish I would have just bought a new gun, right?
Yeah.
And you just have to, you got to
how many times have we done that, right? We're like, I wish I would have just listened. I wish I would have just let it go. I wish I would have just let it slide. No,
yeah, you get into a massive road rage incident, and then when it's all said and done, you're like, maybe I should have just slowed down and let the guy merge in front of me. Like,
former
was
Tampa
any of
prosecutor.
Was any of this really worth it?
Yeah, so that's what I would say. Really, oh my gosh, somebody else said vacations aren't fun. Boo-hoo. Like, who wants to go on vacation with me and actually do it the fun way? Like, I watch these little reels and I see the beautiful, I want to just go. Oh, man. These people that want to work on vacation. Who are you? What's your problem?
I have lots. We don't have time in this interview.
You are welcome, Fishman. I wish I knew your real name. I feel bad calling you Fishman.
Okay, so Marcel says, my mom got a non-violent felony.
Oh.
I knew it, Marcel. I knew it. Over 30 years in Oregon, they said after 10 years it gets dropped, okay?
Oh, nice.
Do you think she can get a concealed carry here? Yeah, if the Oregon
Probably.
state prosecutor's office said that it would be dropped after 10 years, then that means it's probably dropped. What I would probably do is contact the state of Oregon and just see what kind of documents or proof you have that everything's been dropped, but it should be good to go.
Yeah, they should be able to send you that stuff, and then you'll be able to find out, worst case scenario, she would have to send in additional documents.
Okay, Anne doesn't like vacations either.
Oh, man, you guys.
And Samantha says, sadly, I'm
in
in one now.
Anne's raising her hand. She's going to come with me.
Oh, she's got to come with you.
Yeah,
okay.
and Anne's fun. I would take her with me, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can tell. She'd be a good time, I can tell.
Anne seems like somebody, she's very reserved, right?
Yes,
very professional.
Yes.
I think you get one shot of tequila in Anne.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying.
And
I feel
think
like give her a couple glasses of wine.
She's coyote ugly.
Yeah.
That's a compliment, right? Dancing on the bar, taking her clothes off
No. She's not going to be taking off her clothes, but we're going to be,
I'm just taking a wild guess here.
We're going to be having fun, walking down the streets of Tuscany.
Okay.
That's the way I see it.
Here's our question. Should I learn to shoot accurately?
Kathy can go too. Sorry.
Without my prescription glasses? Yeah, I think that's super important. Tiff knows when I'm falling asleep, I usually just take my glasses and kind of a light chuck somewhere.
You're very weird with them because I hear them clunk, 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 the floor, or you leave them down here, or you leave them on the floor. So
the point of the story is somebody kicks in my door in the middle of the night, there's a good chance
I'm not know where your glasses are.
I'm not going to be able to find them. And I got to be able to see that front sight post on my home defense gun. I have an optics, so to see the red dot clear enough that I can actually do what I need to do. So I think it's important. We had a student, John, who was in the class on Saturday, the Beginner's Guide to Firearms class, and he was shooting without his glasses, and he was actually doing really good.
Oh, yeah?
He was struggling with getting the sights lined up perfectly because he couldn't see the top of the front sight.
Okay.
But he was still getting
I think it probably depends if you're I have
nearsighted,
perfect eyes,
farsighted.
so I wouldn't know. But I think that's a really good, probably a good thing to practice at the range.
Of course.
Every now and then, take your glasses off and give it a try.
Now, if you can't tell where the target is with your glasses off, then you probably should not be shooting a gun without some supervision.
Yeah, I'm sure they're probably not that
maybe though
blind, but
all right, so this dude pistol whipped a elderly Florida man.
Oh, yeah.
But the reason why he pistol whipped him is going to shock you. Okay, so, the other day I'm sitting outside, I'm reading a book, and a car drives down our street just flying, hauling ass. And I was so angry because our kids are always out there playing, running around. There's so many kids in our neighborhood.
Yeah.
The kids yell at me. They're like, Dad, you drive so slow in the neighborhood.
Yeah.
Because there's 1,000 kids.
And there's just no reason,
I'll drive fast when I get on the main road, but in the neighborhood, I go pretty slow.
Because let's be honest, you driving fast, 20 miles an hour instead of 5 miles an hour, how much time is that going to save you?
And honestly, I think I'd probably do 10 miles an hour in the neighborhood.
But all it would save you is 30 seconds.
30 seconds, right?
It's not worth it.
So anyway, this elderly man, he yelled at this guy, I don't know his name, yelled at him and just said hey, slow down.
Slow down.
Well, this guy got out of his vehicle, walked up to the elderly guy. He had a Taurus, small .380 revolver, and he just pistol whipped this old man. Beat the crap out of him.
How old he was?
I know he was elderly. I think 80.
Oh, wow. Who could even do that to an old man like that?
Yeah, evil people, right? The wolves, they don't care.
To hit
I think I'm guessing with 80 because the article actually doesn't say.
We appreciate you. Thank you so much.
So then this bad guy gets into his vehicle and leaves. So the elderly man calls 911. The police show up, which we all know, for the police to show up to any type of crime, you're waiting 45 minutes an hour, right? They don't show up to nothing quick, in my opinion. So the police show up, and this criminal drives past the house again, gets flagged down and stopped by the police. And then this guy says...
So what was he coming back for?
I'm assuming he must live in the general area and must drive by here like consistently, right?
Yeah.
So the police stop him. They pull him out of the car and they're like, "Hey, were you involved in an attack?" And he said, "The guy pushed me first." Which isn't this like typical that criminals love to blame everybody else, right? And then they said, "Do you have a gun?" And the criminal says, "Yeah, I have a gun, but it wasn't used in this incident." And they're like, "Oh, okay." So they get him out of the car. They find a gun in the glove box that has blood on the slide.
Ugh.
And clearly that's the gun that was used in this crime, right? So this guy got arrested. What do you think about this incident?
I think it's absurd. I'm just like, I can't believe society. Is this because everyone's like on edge because of stuff? Like, what's happening? Why are you just going to pistol whip an 80-year-old man or something on your street for telling you to slow down, which you know you're speeding?
Yeah.
That's the thing. You know you're speeding. But do you remember that dad that was outside playing with his 2 kids? He's playing on the street with his kids, on the bikes. Somebody comes by. He tells the guy to slow down, puts his hand up, slow down. The guy shot him twice, killed him, dead in the street in front of his kids.
Wow.
Like, what in the world? Lincoln, go.
Look at your phone. Look on the text.
No, you guys need to be in the house and close the door. Thank you.
Kids don't understand what it means for us to be unalive.
They do not, because life goes on with children. So somebody else said they throw their glasses everywhere, and I had to laugh because when we went to the ocean, Ryan lost his sunglasses in the water, the prescription ones, like the expensive ones. I think that's another thing. Thank you so much, Lone Wolf. Thank you guys for all the love. We've had like so many unexpected, like crazy expenses lately. That always happens, doesn't it?
I think that's just life. I think everybody goes through that, right? It's just
random crap.
When it rains, it pours, and whatever. So if you remember, one of the very first Florida stand your ground cases to ever hit the courts was a guy who I actually trained his daughter. When his daughter was 12 years old, a car drove by their house super fast. Mm-hmm. So the dad yelled and said, "Hey, slow down." And the car pulled into a cul-de-sac and stopped. So the dad walked down there, because this is 8 houses down. So, these people, right?
Right.
Dad walked down and was like, "Hey, you guys, my daughter's out here playing. You guys got to slow down." The driver of the car was very apologetic. "Hey, I'm sorry. It was a mistake. It's not going to happen again." The passenger of the car jumped out of the vehicle and started beating the crap out of this man, okay? Then got him on the ground and started beating him so bad that he lost consciousness. Oh. So when the father woke up out of consciousness, he was still getting the crap kicked out of him, pulled his gun, shot this dude in the chest, and killed him. It was found to be a justified shooting. But all of that because you simply asked somebody to slow down. It's crazy. And so this concept that people say, "I don't need my gun. I'm only sitting outside watching my kids play." That dad thought that's all he was doing, and he ended up in a life or death situation.
Super sad, though, that you can't even tell someone, to slow down. Because this happened the other day at the bus stop with Ryan. The kid, it's dark out. My kids catch the bus. It is still pitch black. And we got these cars zooming by, right? And so he's like, "I'm going to get my flashlight, and I'm going to flash it at them." So, yeah,
my idea, because, again, I'm an extremist, was I'm going to get my 1,000-lumen flashlight and just flash it at them.
You're going to flash the wrong guy. And I said, it is not worth it. Just keep your mouth shut. Keep the kids safe. You keep the kids back, because you know that there's idiots on the road. And don't do anything, because how fast that can escalate. Those are the decisions that you have to make, though.
My dad, when I was a kid, he threw a 4x4 post in front of a car. Again,
that's not a good idea.
You think I'm extreme? My dad was extreme. Car driving fast, and my dad was doing something outside, and he just chucked the 4x4 post in the road, and the car's like, and it's like, holy crap, dude! Yeah, what are you doing?
You can't do that kind of stuff nowadays, because you will get killed.
You will die. Yeah. But that's also why my dad was shot when I was 15 years old. He was beaten with a baseball bat and knelt down execution style. I haven't told this story much because I don't like talking about it.
Yeah.
But they shot him in the back, and the bullet went
with a 357.
With a 357 Magnum. Yeah, the bullet went underneath his spine, and it came out on the right-hand side, just underneath or just above his hip, and had severe brain damage and never recovered from it. Mm-hmm. But anyway.
Yeah, super crazy. We'll save that story for another day.
Yeah.
The full story, yeah.
All right, so Marcel says, so my daughter has epilepsy and she has having frequent seizures. That sucks, bro.
Oh, yeah.
I teach her all the local laws I've learned from you. She wants to carry when she gets of age. Can she carry with epilepsy?
Yeah.
I don't know, to be honest. Like,
Yeah,
one of the requirements is that they can't have any medical limitation that would prevent them from handling a firearm safely. So epilepsy is just when you...
Well,
we know people that have seizures.
Yeah, Kenny had a gun and he had seizures.
Yeah, which is really scary. He started having a seizure in my gun store. And, like, we're trying to keep him safe, right? We moved the stuff away from him so that he's not, like, hurting himself. But then he started reaching to try to grab his gun. And I think maybe he was trying to, like, say, hey, take this, trying to hand it to us.
Or, put it somewhere safe. Or...
But he was shaking so violently, then it was like, holy crap, bro. So we were able to pin his arms a little bit, keep him out of the way while I took the gun away, careful not to get pointed at anybody, and then we unloaded it. He actually ended up having a seizure on the Gandy Bridge and flipped his
going
car.
70 miles an hour, and he was really, really hurt.
Really hurt, man.
Busted his legs up where, you know, it took like a lot of rehab and stuff. So I would definitely be careful with the driving aspect with epilepsy.
So I don't know. All right, Renee, I got your question here. Let me see if I can find it. Renee.
Yeah.
When we buy a gun, the serial number is, I guess, attached to our name. But does ATF have a register of that?
I can answer that one.
Okay, go.
If you want. So actually, when you fill out the form, the ATF 4473 form, you put the gun store owner puts the serial number on the form. But when we call in your background check to the NICS, all we say is handgun or long gun. We don't say what kind. We don't say make, model, serial number, nothing. So then that form gets filed away, right? It's in our records. So so there's no registration. All they know is that you bought a handgun or a long gun, okay? That's all they know until something happens and they call. Let's say your gun gets stolen or, you know, it was used in a crime or whatever, and they start doing a trace. Then they call the gun store and they say, we want you to look up this 4473 number, you know, 468, and tell us what the firearm make, model, and serial number is. Now, we had like hundreds of 4473s when we closed the gun store.
Thousands, yeah.
There were thousands. And when we asked the ATF agent, we're like, okay, we got to send these in. He's like, yeah, I'm taking them. He says they go into a big room in Virginia that is stacked full of records that nobody could find nothing in, and
Yeah, so it's actually illegal,
kind of
allegedly, for the federal government to keep an electronic database of who owns firearms, okay? So unless a particular firearm was used in a crime. So what Tiff was describing is called a firearms trace. The police have recovered a gun from a crime scene, and now they got to figure out as much as they can, like the history of that item. One of the craziest stories, a guy came into our gun store. Hey, thanks, Dan. Thanks, Renee.
Thanks, Renee.
Guy came into our gun store, and he had this, like, lever action gun wrapped up in a towel. And he was like, hey, you guys do gunsmithing work? And I was like, yeah.
Is that the way he talked, really?
That's the way he talked. You'll hear at the end of the story why he talks like this. And he goes, yeah, hey, man, I got this gun. I want to get it fixed, totally restored. And he, like, opens up the towel, and it's, okay, here's what it is. Imagine, like, an old-school Winchester lever gun, okay?
That's my favorite.
But it has no forward grip, and it has no stock. So it's just the metal parts,
it's
right?
just a receiver, yeah.
Just a receiver in the barrel, but everything's functional.
Okay.
But then around the receiver, it's a old, like, leather belt.
Oh, the belt. Yeah,
okay, old leather belt designed. Imagine if we hung a leather belt right here and then it hooked right here. So the gun, the receiver would start here hanging down. So you could basically conceal this rifle underneath like a jacket, but it's still a lever action gun. And I'm like, hey, bro, like, what's the story of this gun? And he goes, like, where did you get it? Why does it have a belt on it? Like, this seems really weird. And he goes, I don't know. Found this gun behind the dumpster in my apartment complex tonight, this morning. And I was like, you know, at this point, he's touching it. I'm touching it. And I was like, hey, man, we should probably stop touching this gun. I mean, this is clearly was used in a crime and dumped.
It's stolen and it's,
Yeah, like, we should give this to the police. Let the police dust it for fingerprints. And he goes, oh, no. I already wiped all the fingerprints off it. I cleaned it this morning before I came here. And I was like, all right, bro. I said, here's the thing. I'm going to hold on to this gun. We're going to call Tampa police. We're going to let them come take it. And we're going to let them process it.
If there's nothing wrong with it,
then you can have the gun back.
Give it
but
back with you.
like this is clear, like a This is like
so
a cartel gun,
if
right?
If you find a gun behind a dumpster, don't keep it.
Call the police.
I saw in the news somebody was fishing and they pulled up a gun.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like a big handgun.
No, did you see the other day down in like Key West, a family found like 5 kilos of cocaine? Okay, but they didn't touch it, which is probably smart.
Wow.
They called the police and called Coast Guard or whatever, and then they started searching the area, and in all, I think they found like, it was a lot. I think it was like 95 pounds of cocaine or something like that. It was a very big number. Pretty funny.
So dumpster guns are free. Yeah, right?
They're free, but they have consequences.
So Lone Wolf, no, there's not a wait time when you're purchasing a firearm in Florida if you have a concealed weapons permit, but sometimes there is because it all depends on how long it takes to process your background check. It should just be like 30 seconds a minute.
Yeah, so like I typically find that if there's a gun show happening in Florida and you're trying to buy a gun on a Saturday, it's going to take a long time, hours to process. During COVID, it would take me a solid 24 hours to get approved for a gun.
It always takes me like a couple days because I have a green card. I'm a permanent resident, so they always got to like run me. They have to go like through immigration and stuff. So if you have a green card, no matter what, you will always wait.
Yeah.
Yeah, no matter what.
Yeah.
But whatever.
All right. Next story here. Ooh, this is a good one. You guys ready?
Okay, what?
So you sent me this story. Why don't you tell the story about Instructor Bob? Instructor Bob in D.C.
Oh,
okay. This guy is a firearms instructor, okay? Has a firearms training business, which, by the way, he turned his website off and he shut off his Facebook page because while he got hired by, like, the D.C. Public Library to do, like, firearms training for their security.
Calm down. I feel bad for this guy. I mean, I'm just...
Okay, so while they're doing the training, this guy allegedly grabbed his concealed carry gun, pointed it at his student, and pressed the trigger, killing his student.
Who was
a woman, it sounds like, but I'm not 100%.
She was a woman. Yeah, she was a young woman, like 32 years old. But she was training. She was in the police, right? In the academy, yeah?
I don't know. I think she was just...
Did you even read the story, Ryan?
No, I think she was... He got hired to train the library security. So this woman is dead now. And then this guy right away is like, oh, it was an accident.
No, he said when it happened, he said, oh my gosh, I can't believe I did that. I thought it was my training gun. I thought I had my training gun. So just totally... This kind of thing breaks my heart, though. So he's been around firearms like for
37 years.
37 years. You know, he obviously knows firearm safety. He obviously knows like the rules and stuff. And what I said when a student sent this to us, I said, this is a case of you get complacent and you get comfortable with firearms. Okay, so you get students all the time. They come in the range. They're kind of like first, second, third, fourth, fifth time around guns. They're still super nervous. They want to make sure they do everything right. They're like super like finger off the trigger. It's not just off the trigger, but it's like way up here. They're like, super awkward, like making sure. But after 10, 15, 20 years of carrying, cleaning your guns, shooting your guns, doing all kinds of stuff, it is very easy to get complacent.
Very easy.
It happens to a lot of people. If you watch a lot of the negligent discharges, a lot of the shooting accidents, it is usually with somebody who is fairly experienced with firearms.
But see, that's the misconception that a lot of gun owners have is what's the difference between an accidental shooting and a negligent discharge? So an accident is when a firearm discharges due to no cause of your own. So that means there's a mechanical failure of the gun, okay? So like you're holding it, your finger is off the trigger, but the sear that is preventing the firing pin from hitting the primer and starting the chain reaction, the gunshot going off, the sear breaks, firing pin hits the primer and the gun discharges. Yeah. That is an accident.
Yeah, that's
because there's nothing you could have done to have prevented that.
Is an accidental discharge. A negligent discharge is when it is your fault because you broke one of the firearm safety rules. Look at these guys. They're like, you don't pull, or you treat every gun like it's loaded. Exactly. You don't point it at someone ever.
Even if it's a training gun, you do a safety inspection to verify that it is a training gun. It's this is what happens when you create training scars. You get too comfortable. And to be honest, this is my biggest fear.
Yes.
My biggest fear is accidentally doing something like this one day.
Yeah.
Because I handle guns so much, right?
Yeah, and you're responsible, with
which is why I want to really make sure that I overly make sure my gun is unloaded. Yeah. Make sure the ammunition is far away. Yeah. Be very, we can do things in a subconscious state, like we call it hypnotic rhythm, to where you're like not thinking, you're not actively present, you're just kind of doing things without thinking. Yeah. That's very dangerous, right? We have to actively be like, is my gun actually unloaded? Did I actually do this? And this is why if you guys go to the range with me, Eric knows, Joe knows, Dan knows, you're at the range with me, I'll safety check it, and then I'm talking to you for like 2 seconds explaining a framework or a principle, and then I go back and I check it again. Because it's like, did I check it before? Did I actually do it, or am I just thinking I did it? Yeah. We got to become wildly OCD with this, and that's how we prevent accidents.
Yeah, and, there's a lot of mistakes, even just like the Alec Baldwin, no live ammunition in the training area ever at all. There should be nothing. Somebody said, have they not heard of dummy rounds or chamber flags? Yes, or barrel blocks, right?
Or an inoperable firearm, right? Mm-hmm. But, this is a common thing. There's a firearms training company here in Tampa that they have active Tampa police officers that teach your courses. So same thing happened. Cop gets off duty. He normally swaps out his duty gun for his training demo gun. Okay. But today he must have been stressed, must have been rushed, something like that.
Something happened.
And he's got his duty gun. So he pulls it out during the class. He points it over the students' heads. Bang! Fires around. Round goes into the gun store. Thank God nobody got hurt. Yeah. But that's a very embarrassing moment, right? Yeah. And what's interesting is I know that this company has more than one instructor there at a time. Mm-hmm. Somebody should have noticed, like, hey, bro, you've still got your duty gun on. Let's make sure we swap that out.
Yeah. Or, hey, let's hold everybody accountable at the beginning before students come. Let's make sure, let's double check. I will check yours, you check mine. Let's make it a habit of always checking, because you can never be too safe, and it only takes one time. That's the thing. There's a lot of times in life that we mess up, right? I'm sure we can all agree, but it's not with something deadly. So, we don't have that repercussion. But in this instance, you literally could kill someone. Yeah. And I understand, I agree. Stupid, crappy instructor, somebody said. I agree. Still, just because I'm empathetic, I know. I feel bad for the guy.
Listen,
I
feel bad
for what he's going through right now.
Yeah.
I feel bad that this is not somebody who's, mean or malicious or wanted to hurt someone or wanted to kill somebody. I feel bad for his family. I feel bad for him. I feel bad for the family of it's just a crappy situation, and it should just be like a massive reminder to us all. No matter how long you've been, it can happen to anybody. No matter how long you've been around guns, make sure you are OCD. Slow down, check everything out, and make sure that you're being safe.
All right.
Okay, wait. We got to answer this question, okay? Ryan, I always wanted to ask you if you have any plans to open a gun store again.
Okay, so about 4 years ago, we were driving to like Orlando or something, and we were on Highway 60 in like Lakeland area.
You remember this?
I do remember. And I just casually said to Tiff, I was like, hey, what do you think about me getting my federal firearms license again? So that's a license to have a gun store.
Do you guys want to know?
Zero hesitation. Tiffany like hysterically burst into tears crying. And I was like, I guess I got my answer.
This is why. It's not just the gun store. When we owned the gun store, our kids were little, right? We had very stressful lives. We were working we
had no money because all the money was in the business.
We're working like 100+ hours a week.
Business was not working good.
Our marriage was not going good at all. This is when we legit hated each other, but we're like, we can't split up.
Too broke to get divorced.
Just because we're too broke to get divorced. Like, where are you going to go? Where are you going to sleep? We got to pay for you to go sleep somewhere. So I think I attribute like the gun store to like just the most miserable
Trauma.
time.
It's like being in combat. Yeah.
Trauma.
Like, okay, here's how bad the gun store was for me. Like, we had our gun stores in South Tampa, so it took 45 minutes to get there in the morning.
Or an hour, you know, you're in rush hour traffic.
There were times that I'd be driving down the Crosstown Expressway, and, you know, as you're driving down, they have those concrete pillars. I would drive down, and I would fantasize about, just, Ryan, listen, it'll be an accident, Ryan. Just turn the wheel slightly to the left. You're going to do a head-on with this concrete pillar, and you don't have to go to the gun store for like 7 days. You're going to be able to rest, relax. Like, that's how bad it was. You guys think I'm exaggerating.
PTSD.
I am not.
That is so true, Drew. Yes,
I honestly would fantasize about getting in a car accident just so I didn't have to go. It was that. And listen, it was all my fault.
Yeah.
I destroyed the business. I made bad decisions. I spent way too much money
on stock, and then it just put us behind, and then it was like you had to sell. And then, you know, it's so easy for people to just go online, and they're like, oh, you know, you buy this. Let's just say you buy this gun for $500, and all you make is $50 on it. That's it. So
or 20.
You put $50 or you put $500 out there. It takes you a month to sell it, and then all you're gonna make is $50. And then someone comes in and they're like, well, so and so's got it online for, you know, for this. Now you're only gonna make $20. You put out $500 of your own money. You're only gonna make $20. Then you got to do all the paperwork.
I remember this one guy. It was such an irrational conversation, but this guy bought a Sig like 226 or something, okay? So a very nice gun. And he bought it. He left the store. And then like 2 days later came back and he goes, hey, this gun has been shot. And I was like, okay, did you shoot it? You just took it. Did you shoot it? What are you talking about? He's like, there's scratches on the inside of the barrel. So if you guys ever bought a gun, you lock the slide back, like there's little scratches on the barrel.
Yeah.
And he goes, this is clearly not a new gun. This is a used gun. And I was like, well, listen, bro, you know when gun manufacturers build a gun, they test fire it.
Yeah,
so
always.
All new guns have been shot before.
Yeah.
And he's like, no. And like, I'm trying to rationally, have you ever tried to have a rational conversation with somebody who's irrational?
The thing is that a lot of times people just have like buyer's remorse or something like that. And then, you know, they want you to eat up the cost. But
so I discovered through that incident, because I called Sig and I had him on speakerphone and I said, how many rounds do you guys fire through your guns before you ship it to FFLs? And Sig Sauer told me we fire 70 rounds.
Oh, wow.
And I was like, oh, my God, that's a lot. Because I know Glock only fires like 5 or something.
Yeah.
So 70 rounds, that's a lot. And I said, see, like Sig, the rep from Sig is on the phone telling you they fired 70 rounds through your brand new gun to make sure it works properly. This guy threw such a fit, negative reviews on the internet. And finally, I was just like, I'm just going to buy the gun back from you, give you your money back. I took multiple hundreds of dollars loss.
Yeah, because then you have to hold it for 30 days because you took it back in. You have to hold it for 30 days before you can sell it. Anyway, nightmare. No, we're not going to own a gun store or an online store. No, thank you. Yeah. So Fred asked that he said he recently lost his wallet. Does he have to stop carrying because he doesn't have a CCW permit?
That's actually a really good question. So you can order a replacement concealed carry permit right on the Florida Department of Agriculture's website. It's pretty cheap.
Yeah, $15, I think.
Technically, according to Florida concealed carry law, you are required to have a copy of your Florida concealed carry permit on you to carry a gun. But the punishment of not complying with that
$15.
It's $25 fee.
$25
fee. $25 fine. So if it was me, I would just carry the gun and I would just pay. If I got caught, I'd pay the $25
I don't know if there's any truth to this or not, but I'm just going to say it because this is what I heard in the group. Somebody said, you don't say that you lost it ever. You just say you forgot it at home.
Sure.
Apparently that makes a difference.
Yeah, you're lying to the police. Is that what you're saying? You're lying to the police.
No, you forgot it at home. Just leave it like that.
It's a convenient retruth. Whatever.
You did forget it at home. It's lost at home, but you forgot it.
Can I get a new photo? The one they took is bad. You can when you renew your permit. Most people don't, though, because it's just waste time. Who's ever going to see it, too? Who cares?
Yeah, I mean, I think that it's a good idea to still take a photo because if you do forget it or whatever, I think most cops would be. But I do know that they say you have to have the physical card,
yeah.
Physical card. So
to avoid getting that $25 fine.
Yes, you may still get the $25 fine, but it's not like you're going to lose your license or you're going to have to go to court or anything like this. You're just going to pay a fine. So next question, sweet.
Next question.
Wait. First, thank you so much, Soma Vida. Thai yoga.
Okay. So he did ask a question. He said, do we have any low light training? Yes. One of our classes in the Sheepdog Masterclass, I think it's level 4, actually has a low light component.
Oh.
So level 4 Sheepdog Masterclass has low light. All right. Question 3. I'm a concealed carry holder in Florida. I flew commercially to New York, rented a car. In the glove box was a handgun. That's pretty crazy. Do I turn it in, risking a violation or a criminal offense, or do I ignore it? Return the car with the handgun as is. That is crazy. Me, as soon as I identified the gun, if I was still like at the car rental place, I would walk in and be like, hey, there's a handgun in this car. I want a different car. Let's move on. If I had already like left and was driving around, I would, this is scary, right?
I would never leave it in there because then they would think that it was me that left it if they found it.
I would call the police. Yeah, call the police and be like, hey, I rented this car. This gun's already in it.
Right?
Yeah.
In New York.
New York is no joke,
You
bro.
don't play. In fact, I would drive back to the car rental place.
Yeah.
And I would say, excuse me, I opened the glove box and there's a gun in there. So you need to take it.
Yeah.
Or give me a new car. That's what I would say. I would not touch it. I would not deal, only because it's New York, right? Like it's just super, super crazy.
Yeah, if this was Florida, it would be a very different case. Like Florida.
I would probably call them and say, hey, guess what? I just opened the glove box and there's a gun in the car. What do you want me to do? That way you're letting them know right away.
Okay, let's just be honest here.
No.
I would pick up the gun and I would check the serial number on FDLE serial number check. If the gun was not reported stolen.
You're going to keep it?
I'm not saying I would keep it. What I'm trying to say is how do you find a local gun dealer to give it to and post the gun? No, you just bring it back.
No, you just bring it back, dude. You just bring it. Yeah, not in New York. You will be charged. Yeah, exactly. I say you call them and say, listen, you drive back if you're not far. Or you call them. But good scenario.
Dude, crazy.
Okay.
Ben had just asked a question. He says, if you find drugs, take them. I just watched a movie the other day.
He also said, hi, mommy, at the top, and then he said, don't listen to my comments. I'm drunk. So I don't know if we should, entertain
So the bar is very
guy.
low with Ben. So I just watched his documentary again called Cocaine Island. Do you remember that show?
I don't.
So this guy moved down. He bought a new house and down in rural Florida somewhere. And one of his neighbors kept talking about how 30 years ago he found a bag full of cocaine washed up in Puerto Rico when he used to live there. So he took the bag of cocaine. It was millions of dollars, and he buried it in the ground. And his name was Julian, and he used to always tell the neighbors, I know exactly where the cocaine is. If anybody could go get it, bring it to America, it's worth millions of dollars. So this guy is like me, right?
Send somebody else to go.
Yeah. He's like, I'm going to get on a plane, and I'm going to fly down there, and I'm going to see if there's cocaine's actually there. So he never found it. But now he's like, okay, if we do find it, I need somebody to sell it. So he found somebody to sell it. And then he found another guy who can traffic it in, which turned out to be an undercover cop. So
see? You always get caught.
They go and they bring it all in, and he meets at a Gander Mountain, and the undercover cop who's posing as this big drug dealer is like, hey, it's in the trunk of my car, go grab it. And he goes out there to get it, and he's like, this is the greatest day. We finally did it. He tells the undercover cop, he's like, my only regret is that there isn't more cocaine to smuggle in. Goes out there, gets it, SWAT team pounces.
Is this a real life
story? Real
story?
story, yeah.
Ooh.
A real
what's
story.
It called?
Cocaine Island.
Okay,
One of the greatest documentaries I've ever seen.
Where can they find it?
It's on Netflix right now.
Netflix.
Yeah, super amazing. But here's the thing. Don't do it, bro. Don't do it. Don't do it, man. It is so not worth it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you were the one that was like, I don't know, maybe I would take the gun and I would search the serial number.
I would, because what I would think is that it's probably on one of the Florida forums that somebody lost a gun. I just put it out there. Hey, I found the gun.
Somebody
tell me what the serial number is, and I'll give it to you.
Somebody just said that a friend of mine rents cars for a couple of weeks at a time and rents them out to thugs on the block to make money. So that's what it is. I mean, it's a hot gun. It's a stolen gun.
Do you know our neighbor just bought
It's a gun that's killed people.
You know our neighbor just bought a Rolls Royce? You know the dude down here lives in the crappy house? He's got a Bentley, and he's got all the old school lowriders. This morning, I'm on my walk, and I'm like, bro, that's a brand new Rolls Royce coming.
Doesn't his thing say crypto or something on it?
No, that was somebody else.
No.
I don't know what this guy is doing. I don't know what he was doing.
Well,
he's got a lot of nice cars, though.
I don't know either, but
it does not seem above board, just to be honest. Okay, last story here, real quick. School is starting, right? This week for our boys. Paisley's starting next week. a sheriff in North Carolina, I believe, is so concerned about school shootings that he actually put AR-15s in all of the schools in his county. What do you guys think about that? So this way, a school resource officer, you got an active shooter that comes in, they actually have the firepower to try to neutralize that threat. What are your thoughts on this?
I mean, as long as people are trained to use it, I think it's a great idea. Because no matter what, if you have a resource officer with a handgun, the guy with the rifle is going to win. Unless he's undertrained, right? Because you can have a rifle, but if you're a dummy and you don't know how to
you get a malfunction, don't know how to fix it.
You don't know how to fix it properly, or you don't know how to use it, then somebody experienced with a handgun can take you out. But the guy with the rifle has the upper hand. So being able to have a rifle handy, because I mean it takes minutes for the cops to arrive. Yeah. You know, so you have
and it doesn't even matter if the cops arrive. They're going to stand in the hallway for 80 minutes.
I know.
Twiddling their thumbs.
I know. Yeah. So yes, awesome solution. For me though, I really think like the door lock thing, like I don't know why that's not in place where we can just hit a button, you know, lock down all the doors. The solution to we just have to take the page from the U.S. military. If you go onto a military installation, these secured areas, they're pretty secured, right? And they're secured because they actually care about securing that facility. The problem is, I'm just going to be blunt here, these school administrators and people that talk about wanting to make our schools safe, they're pussyfooting around. They claim they want to make stuff safe, but they actually don't. They really just want to pretend like they're doing something when in reality they're doing nothing. That's what's happening. And if you remember I think it was after, it wasn't Sandy Hook, it was another one that happened. This young American guy, I think he was maybe a firefighter or something, but he came up with like a little...
Yeah, the doorstop thing.
Yeah, the doorstop thing. And I mean, brilliant. Works amazing, can close any door. It can't be very much, $20, $30. Like it can't be... I'm sure he'd work a deal out if all the schools bought some. But why is that not being used?
Maybe they're using that kind of stuff. But again...
But I haven't heard any of that being used because I just listened to, Nicholas Cruz they just did his trial.
Death penalty hearing,
it was online. And I was listening to it, and one of the girls was telling the story about how they were going down the stairs because they pulled the fire alarm, so they're going down the stairs. Then all of a sudden students started coming up. Right? So they ran back. They heard a whole bunch of gunshots. She ran in the room. They hid behind the desk. And unfortunately, her teacher was in the doorway and got shot. But she said, as she's saying, she's on the phone and stuff. She was actually videoing it. She's saying the door to the classroom was wide open. And I was thinking to myself, why? I understand nobody wants to go up and close the door, but if each student was trained and everybody knew, listen, if something happens, this is where the doorstop is. This is what you have to do. You have to because at that point, they were sitting ducks. Yeah. They were sitting there hoping he wasn't going to come upstairs. Right. And if he did, he was going to be able to just walk right in. So I feel like there really needs to be a way to lock down those doors.
So Will.i.am is saying, well, not entirely true. Remember the military installation. So that was Fort Hood. It was a major, and that happened outside by the BX, I believe, where the major who converted to radical Islam and just decided to start shooting people. So again, when you go into a secured facility on a military base, like SOCOM is very secure. CENTCOM is very secure. Even if you go to like our buildings and stuff, you got to have a code to open every single door. People are watching, but even still, people would penetrate. I remember one time we get a call over the radio, and they said Sergeant Thomas. I think I was in charge at that time. Said Sergeant Thomas, there is a person on the base. He is on the flight line, so he's already penetrated multiple layers of security. He's in a flight suit, so like a pilot. But he has a mohawk, and he's loose. We don't know where he is. We can't find him. You guys got to go start searching your buildings to see if he's in one of our buildings or around our buildings or whatever this dude's doing. And it was crazy because I'm out there looking, and I'm like, I don't have a gun. What exactly am I supposed to do if this guy is we had huge fuel tanks, right? It was 3 million gallons of jet fuel. and you blow that up, like it's going to cause a really massive problem. So that's my concern, right? Is you're going to this fuel tank, 3 million gallons. That's a huge terror thing.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, so some people are saying maybe instead of guns, you can have tasers. Yeah, like maybe that's an option to have a taser. Every teacher has a taser at the desk. You're not comfortable with having a gun. I get that. But maybe you can have a taser. Because, the bad guy is walking, this way in the hallway, and you pass, let's say Teacher Ben's classroom here, and he sees you pass, he can come out and shoot you in the back from behind with a taser, So there's I think that there's a lot of things that we can try. I don't think anybody knows like the perfect solution, the perfect answer, but I definitely think that we could be doing a lot more than we are now, and we could be trying different things. Bad guys, just like anything, the wolf figures out different ways to get their prey. So, okay, you got tasers, I'm going to wear body armor. You got, you do pepper spray or gas, automatic gas or something like that, they're going to come in with a gas mask. I mean, they're going to find a way to... Because
we're publicizing all of our weaknesses.
Yeah.
Right? So, like, the news media is getting on there and saying, well, he just walked right in.
Yeah.
Or, whatever. They're saying all the things, and it's like... This is, in the military, we call it operational security, right? Shut the hell up.
Yeah.
Don't tell the enemy how we're doing what we're doing. Keep it hidden. Keep it in the dark. But that's just not what's happening. We're allowing people to see the weakness.
Before we go out, because it's already 8:02, but you guys saw the Alex Jones thing, right? So Alex Jones, he got hit with a $45.2 million punitive charges and then like a 1-point-something million for saying that the Sandy Hook thing was a fraud. The guy did a bunch of bad stuff. I'm not on his side at all. I think it's terrible what he did. I think, but I'm like, this is the question. Why are there so many free, open chat rooms and all these different things where they talk about this kind of stuff? They plan this kind of stuff. Do you know?
Plan what? What are you talking about?
Like there's people on there that these psychos go to. I mean, I don't know where it is because I don't do this stuff, but you'll hear like they were part of a plan and like on internet like chats. I guess they probably use like code words or whatever. But how is that stuff kind of allowed? Like, I understand.
Well, it's not that allowed. That's the kind of stuff that's on the dark web, right?
That's like the dark web?
That's dark web stuff. They're all, like, hidden, and those people know what they're doing, right?
And they use, like, code words and stuff?
You don't even have to. You can vary on the dark web. I've only been on the dark web one time, and it's because my brother Evan is, like, a hacker. He works for the NSA or somebody. So he was showing it to me, and he was showing me, like, what you have to do to hide yourself on the dark web, and I was like, bro, how'd you learn this stuff? Like, there's no website or search engine. You have to, like, type in the code to go to a specific site. And I was like, this is freaking crazy, man. So, yeah, I mean, that's what criminal people do. But then there's also divisions in our federal government that research and look at all that. But, yeah,
and watch that stuff to, like, kind of, like, investigate them or whatever. Because I'm trying to think of which one it was, but there was 2 different shooters that were part of, like, these kind of forums of people that fantasize about this kind of stuff. So I was just wondering, like, what happens with that. But I guess, yeah, they kind of probably monitor them or whatever. Do we have any questions left for tonight so that we're not...
Would our society be any safer if when we identified people with violent, evil intent, we just killed them?
Oh, no.
Would it?
Well, no,
I was thinking about this the other day.
Okay, well, here. Then there's no due process. There's no anything. I get it. Like some people were saying, a couple of weeks ago, I said, listen, this is after the Uvalde shooter. I said, you catch the kid, it's him. You see them walking in. You see them doing the thing. Why is there a trial? Why are we bothering? Like, that's just straight execution, right? That's my thought. Because why are we giving them even the time of day? Why are we putting their photo in the paper? I don't think we should do any of that. I think that we could send a very clear message that you try to do this, you're gonna get put down. That's just it. And somebody was like, no, that innocent till proven guilty. And I thought, yeah, I get the innocent.
You're guilty. We watch you murder people.
What do I have to prove? You're on camera. You've admitted it. You shot your grandma in the face. You drove to the school, like in your truck. You're on camera. It's you. What? You're guilty. So why does there have to be this long process?
Because of our Constitution, that's why.
Well,
but I agree. I think
that's
sometimes
the hard part. There's so many great things about it, but then there's other things where it's like I don't. Think
I like the Wild West version of America, where you know somebody's a scumbag and you just hang them.
Yeah. Okay.
And then it's like problem solved, man.
So there you go. Joe nailed it. He says intent is not a crime, which is kind of scary though, because some people can intend to do something for I don't know. It's crazy.
In fact, though, I watched a documentary the other day. We're going to close on this. I want everybody to watch it.
Wait. But is it a crime? Because people people that post, they're going to do something, they get in trouble.
If in the United States, if you have the intent of having sex with a minor on U.S. soil, that is a felony.
Yeah.
Okay? So I am going to challenge everybody to go watch this documentary.
Oh.
It is called Operation Toussaint.
Write this down.
It is Operation Toussant.
Type it in the chat.
Operation Toussaint.
You type
Something
it in
like
the
that.
chat.
Okay, hold on. Let me see if I can do this.
Okay, where did you find it though?
It's on Amazon right now.
Amazon Prime, do you have to pay for it?
It's free.
Okay, it's free. This is what we like. We like free if you got Amazon Prime, which, let's be honest, most of us do.
Okay, so this is about an organization called Operation Underground Railroad, and they are going out and rescuing children that are the victims of sex slavery all around the world. Super crazy documentary. It'll really show you
Yeah, we met Tim Ballard, who's the guy who started this whole thing. He used to work for Homeland Security, and then someone he knew, he heard the story of their son getting kidnapped, little 4-year-old, wanted to help, and this is kind of all where it came from. But
he just decided he was doing child abduction cases for Homeland Security, but then heard of a guy who is dealing with this in Haiti, and he just decided, you know what? I'm going to quit. Imagine the balls to do this. The balls. He said he went to his supervisor at Homeland Security. I'm actually going to tear up if I talk about this too much. Went to his supervisor and said, hey, listen, I'm thinking about quitting because there's this 4-year-old kid that got kidnapped in Haiti. I don't know the dad.
From a pastor.
I don't know the kid. But for some reason, I feel like I need to go down there and try to find this kid. And his supervisor said, everybody else in his unit was like, dude, you're crazy, bro. You're going to give up your retirement. You're going to give up the security of the federal government. And he went to his supervisor, expecting his supervisor to say, do not do this, you're an idiot. And his supervisor said, you would be crazy not to do it. So he frickin' funds it himself, goes down there, never found the kid, but they ended up rescuing, I think, on that first mission, 24 children that were held in sex slavery.
Yeah, it's Operation, guys. Ryan just spelled it wrong. Come on.
Yeah, whatever.
You know what it means. So, free documentary. I think it's an hour and 15 minutes long or something like that. Super crazy. Super great. Yeah, and we're going to set up a page on our website eventually because I want to start making sure that we donate certain portions of the classes or whatever to that, because Ryan and I have a heart for kids, right? And when you see these kids suffering and you see these kids going through this stuff, it's really sad. Yeah. So very good documentary. I encourage you to watch it and then also to share it, text it with a few people.
Yeah.
Because it's pretty crazy. All right, so no more questions because I don't want to get
that's it
tomorrow. Okay. Saying you missed my question.
Okay. What do you recommend for a magazine pouch for a 12-round magazine for a Sig P365?
Oh.
I recommend the Tolster Eco Mag Pouch. Okay. So Tulster.
Okay, what's the Eco Mag Pouch?
Eco. ECO Mag Pouch. So what it is it's an adjustable magazine pouch, which is really cool. They only make 2 sizes. They make a single stack. They make a double stack. So you just buy the double stack is what you need for the Sig P365. It basically has a tensioning lever to kind of get the perfect amount of tension on the mag.
Perfect amount of tension.
Whereas some of them are you barely turn it and it's oh my God, now it's too tight. And then you barely loosen it and it's now it's too loose and you can never get it right. But this Eco Mag pouch is perfect.
Okay, gotcha.
It really is amazing.
Okay, so that's why he recommends that.
Yeah.
So wait. What was the name of the cocaine documentary you talked about?
Cocaine Island.
There you go, Samantha. Cocaine Island. And then somebody said Blow is a great movie. Yeah. Isn't that the one with Penelope Cruz? Because she's super hot girl in it. That's why.
No, it's because it's the fantasy of being this dope drug dealer, man.
Come on, that stuff never really happens. I mean, it happens.
I'm pretty sure it happens.
It happens until you get...
But it happens for a period of 2 years, and then you're in a cage the rest of your life.
Just imagine, though, this, we got a lot of stress. Could you imagine the stress level of being, that guy?
Yeah.
You've got to be
knowing, like, every time you're on the phone, like, okay, is somebody listening to this? I'm outside, or people taking pictures of me?
Like, how many bad guys just want to take over your empire, right? Just want to come in, kill you, and then take everything you got.
Yeah.
And be the, the next Top Gun. Like, you
Scarface.
must have a bunch of, like, wolves just waiting to, get to the top of the pack.
Yeah.
That's got to be crazy. Like, I don't have to worry about that stuff.
Yeah, I got too much stress right now. Just trying to get my kids registered for school.
I didn't know that blow was a true story. Was it really?
I don't know.
That's not a true story.
I think it is. Oh, it is a true story. Yeah, they had the story of the real guy at the end.
Really? Okay, wait. By the way, Ernie finished your book. Thanks for actually reading it. A lot of people just put it on their bookshelf and they don't read it. So thanks for reading it. Very thought-provoking. Yes, put it up there. If anybody wants to get a copy, get your free copy now. FloridaConcealedCarry.com, law.com. Because we're actually running low now, so we're not ordering anymore because the price skyrocketed. So this is going to be it. So get your free copy. All we ask is that you pay a little bit of shipping and handling. Like
what is your question, Terry?
Why?
I don't know. He said, "What about my question?" I didn't see your question. Ask me your question.
Quick, Terry. Ask your question real fast.
Baltimore has crabs. There's a show great about people fighting guys trying to hook up with kids.
This is what I'm going to say. If you are on our email list and you appreciate Ryan taking the time to write out these different scenarios, write out these different training tips and stuff like that, send us an email. Hit reply back and let us know, because we need a little bit of love, and I think that Ryan needs a little encouragement these days. So if you're on the email list, you enjoy his emails, go ahead and just reply back and just say something. It can just be thanks, Ryan. And you can thank me too. I'll take it. Yeah. But then maybe I'll print those off and I'll put them on a book on your desk so that when you're feeling sad, you can flip through it.
Well, you know what? It's funny how when you get lost in the minutia of working and doing stuff, like, I don't see me as doing anything anymore. But then I meet people, and this guy at the range the other day is like, "Thanks for everything you do." And I'm like, in my head, I'm like, what are you talking about? What do I even do for you, right? Mm-hmm. So it's interesting because, I don't know. Yeah.
So, or if you appreciate the live, or if you appreciate anything that we do for you, just let us know.
Did this guy send the question, Tim? Is that his name? Terry.
Terry.
Where's your question, Terry?
Terry Thomas, what's your question? Because I'm getting sweaty when I start sliding on my chair, okay? Because it's a leather chair and it gets kind of slippery.
I mean, she needs two things. Oh, gosh. One of them we can't talk about on a live stream.
Stop. What's the other thing?
I don't know.
I need to wipe my chair.
Yeah. Okay. All right, guys. I don't see Terry's question.
Sorry, Terry. So, you snooze, you lose.
Send us an email. Hey,
there he is. There he was. Oh, it was in your email. Oh, crap.
Okay. All right.
Oh, yeah. He did. I thought that was about the... Okay, you got to answer his.
Okay, pull it up. Find it.
Okay, Terry, let me look, because if he sent the email, I actually think that I sent it to Ryan. He just didn't. Oh, my gosh. I just got a bedtime reminder.
Okay, Todd sent me that stabbing in Vegas. Thanks, Todd.
Okay, right here.
Okay, go.
Okay. Here's my question for the live. Okay. So it says, oh, this is a good one too, Terry.
Oh, actually, I do remember Terry's question. I don't know. I'm sorry. I did have it. I just forgot to put it up.
When I was a paramedic, we would just let the local LEOs take care of it. But if the accident is bad enough, wait. My question is, sorry. If you're ever in an automobile accident, how do you secure your concealed carry firearm? When I was a paramedic, we would just let the local LEOs take care of it. But if the accident was bad enough, you may be at the hospital before the LEOs show up. Such a good question.
Yeah, such a good question. When I got in my car accident to mess up my back, I actually have never said this before, but when I got in the car accident that injured my back, I was on my way to take my concealed carry class.
You were?
I was, yeah. So, and then got in the accident. So I had my Glock 19 in the car, didn't have a carry permit, but it was in the case. And when the police came and they're gonna tow the car, I'm unsure. I didn't know what to do. So I said hey, ma'am, I have a gun in the car. How do you want me to get that gun from my car that's now damaged and destroyed into my other vehicle so that I can go to the hospital? And she's like, is it in a case? I said, it's in the Glock, plastic case, whatever. And she said, just go ahead and take it and go put it in. But see, I was still mobile and still able to operate, right?
Yeah.
But what if I was unconscious?
Right.
I think you really just have to let the police kind of take it because there's no way for you to do anything and there's nowhere for you to really put it.
Yeah, they
right?
probably will check the vehicle. And then if you're being taken by he's saying concealed carry, if it's on your body, you're unconscious, they're going to find it when you, when they're taking off your clothes and stuff like that, they're going to find it. And then it's up to you guys, the paramedics, what are you guys trained to do? Do you just remove it and put it aside? Do you
see what's scary about this is somebody texted me a video of a cop that took a firearm off a crime scene and the lady could not safety check this gun. So she
she's a cop?
Oh my God, Tiffany. She racked the slide and the bullet comes out and then she takes the magazine out and I'm like, oh my God, there's still a bullet in the chamber. And then she's like trying to lock the slide to the rear, but she can't do it. So then she like puts a mag under her arm and she's trying to do it and can't do it. And I'm like, dear Jesus, somebody help this lady before she kills somebody. Because it was so unsafe. It was truly shocking. So yeah, I mean, you gotta let the police do what they gotta do.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Okay, like Terry, let me say if me and you are there, right? We're riding motorcycles, you've got your gun, I've got my gun, you fall off your bike, you get into a horrific accident. I'm obviously gonna be like helping you and trying to keep you stable until EMS shows up. I would probably, if you were say like, listen, bro, you want me to take your gun? I'll take it.
Yeah, if that's
get it from me.
There's somebody else there, but
because now I'm somebody you can trust and somebody you can actually give the gun to.
I'm sure this happens. I'm sure this happens a lot because you just think about how many Americans have firearms. So I'm imagining that they're either trained for it or else somebody, the cops kind of check out the car, they tow it, and But it's a good question.
It is a good question.
It's actually something that I've never really thought about. So just thinking now, I did not know that you were on your way to your concealed carry class. So that night.
So I remember I had to reschedule it for the next week.
Wow. Yeah. I was going to say like that. Wow. So crazy. Interesting. Yeah. Huh. So somebody said that they liked my rollerblading video. Yeah. Thank you. Somebody else was impressed that I still rollerblade. Well, I didn't rollerblade all the time, but I did rollerblade a lot when I was younger, and I thought I would give it a try again because I'm packing on a couple pounds. But Ryan didn't want to show you guys the video. So
what video?
You said that the video wasn't good.
The video from today?
Oh no, that was the Mexican food. Did you watch the Ryan taking me to Tapatia's one?
Yeah, do you guys see like the manipulative game that just happened right there? You guys see that? Did everybody see that? I just want you to comment.
Do you have it on there?
I can get it real quick.
Okay, wait. Do you guys don't go. How many viewers we got on? I think that it's worth it. I think this is a good video. Okay, let's see. Yeah, is that it?
That's it.
Okay, wait. Did you guys see the...
Hey, Tiff, you want to go to Tapatia's tonight?
Let's see what it tastes like.
Isn't that great?
Best Mexican food this side of the Mississippi. Tapatia's, Lakeland.
So good. Wasn't that good?
So good. My mouth is watering.
Good. Yeah, I want to go. I just said to Ryan, let's go tonight.
Like, I would literally beat up a dozen homeless people to get a plate of Tapatia's.
Yeah, but they're closed on Mondays, so I tagged them and I sent them that video. They were like, that's so awesome. Thank you. Yeah, they were happy. Anyway, thanks, guys, for watching.
Be safe.
Be safe.